I've always wanted to make my own spring rolls. Welcome to the Silly Kitchen. My name is Sylvia and I love sharing with you some of my favorite recipes, and occasionally, because I think every home cook should, step out of my comfort zone and make something new. So today it's gonna be really simple, basic, and minimal ingredients to make my very own spring rolls. Are you gonna come along the journey with me and make your own spring rolls too? We'll see if they turn out first, I guess.
The first step is getting all your ingredients ready for the filling. So I'm going to be using carrots, and I've just used a little spiralizer tool, but you can julienne them. I'm also going to use a whole onion, and I'm going to slice everything as thin as possible. Red peppers next. And again, just trying to do my best to have really nice thin slices. A little bit of Napa cabbage, and I'm also going to mix that with regular green cabbage. And my protein for this filling is going to be some double smoked tofu. So all of my ingredients is all ready, and I'm going to head over to the stovetop, get a pan ready with a little bit of olive oil, and start sauteing these vegetables until they become soft. I want to make sure that I don't overcook them. They're not going to be mush. They're still going to have a little crunch. And of course, seasoning is important. A little bit of salt, pepper, and sesame oil. That is all I'm using for seasoning this. And at the very end, as I turn off my pan, I'm going to throw in that tofu.
Now, the one thing I will say about this recipe is that I do not like to deep fry or fry a lot of food. It's just a preference of mine. So I really wanted to do these spring rolls the baked version. So we're gonna give that a try and hope that it turns out as well. I know deep fried would probably be super crispy and delicious and wonderful, but that's just not how I roll. So let's see if the oven does all right.
As I'm letting that mixture cool down, I'm going to get my wrappers ready, and they just come in a package like this. You gently pull them apart, and we're going to just add in our filling and hopefully roll it up like a burrito. That's kind of what I'm going with, but as tight as possible. I want to sort of make sure that everything is compact and in there. I fold it kind of in the middle, get the edges closed up, and it looks like a spring roll. Because I'm baking them, I'm going to do a nice little brush of oil, and in the oven they go. And as you see, halfway through the cooking, when I flipped them, something happened.
Okay, well, so a couple of those fell apart. Okay, went to the drawing board, did a little bit of Googling, and I think I made two mistakes. First mistake is that I didn't let my mixture cool down enough. You gotta make sure that it's down in temperature, room temperature, get it off the heat and let it cool down, even put it in the fridge. The other thing is the rolling technique. So let's go through the way that I am going to roll them the second time around, because I'm not a quitter. I gotta try this again.
So on the second round, I've used a different mixture. I've used shrimp in there as well, instead of the tofu, I mean. And I'm going to put the mixture at the very top corner and start rolling until I get halfway. So I'm getting more of that paper wrapper around my filling before I close it up. It already feels a lot more secure. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do it from another angle just so that you can see, because really I'm feeling like these spring rolls are sort of coming together a lot better than the first round just by adding that mixture to the top. And let's see what happens after we brush them. I'm going to do an extra brush this time of that olive oil and make sure that I get a bunch on the bottom of the pan as well. Out of the oven they came after a flip. Ta-da!
Okay, second time, way better. Yeah, there's a couple cracks in a few of them, but none of them exploded like the first time. So I think the rolling, and as well as getting that mixture nice and cool before I roll them into the wrapper is probably the key. I'm gonna keep trying my methods here, and I gotta tell you, irrelevant of how they looked, they tasted pretty phenomenal. And you can dip them into a sweet and spicy Thai sauce, make your own peanut sauce, maybe some teriyaki, plum sauce, whatever. They turned out really delicious with those basic filling ingredients. The shrimp had a lot more flavor than the tofu. But either way, I'm gonna make these again because I really enjoyed them, and I really like the baked sort of version, knowing that I'm not deep frying or using too much oil. If you make your own spring rolls, especially if you make them baked, let me know in the comments if you have any tips or tricks for me based on what I'm doing here, and hopefully I'm gonna get better at this. Thank you for tuning in to The Silly Kitchen. See you next time.